Once upon a time, nestled between hills that glowed the color of fallen leaves and valleys echoing with the laughter of squirrels gathering their winter stores, there was a quaint little village. This village, known as Harvest Hollow, was famous for two things: its bountiful apple orchards and its annual Thanksgiving celebration. Every year, the villagers of Harvest Hollow prepared for the biggest Thanksgiving feast in the land, and at the center of this celebration was a time-honored tradition. Each family would send their child out to pick the perfect pumpkin for the community feast. It was a chance for the children to bond with their parents over the joyful task of selecting the largest, most vibrant pumpkin they could find. Now, in this village, every child looked forward to the day when they would be old enough to participate in this cherished tradition. But for Timmy Button, who had just turned 5, it was a day filled with dread. You see, Timmy wasn't like the other children. He wasn't particularly strong, and he wasn't blessed with much speed either. In fact, his specialty was neither running nor lifting, but telling jokes. Timmy lived with his mom, dad, and older brother, Tommy, in a small cottage surrounded by apple trees. His brother was the picture of strength and athleticism, often winning the annual Strongest Apple Picker contest. Every year, when it was Tommy's turn to pick the pumpkin, he would come back with a giant pumpkin on his back, bigger than Timmy himself. But this year, a strange thing happened. A huge storm had swept through the night before, destroying many of the pumpkins and leaving only tiny ones in its wake. Tommy searched high and low, but all he could find were small pumpkins. Disappointed, he came back home with a teeny pumpkin no bigger than Timmy's head. Now, Timmy was scared because he knew it was his turn now and he couldn't even carry a small pumpkin. What would everyone think? Would they laugh at him? Maybe they'd ask him to try picking apples instead. The thought made him so upset that he ran off to the orchard behind their house, hiding amongst the apple trees. As tears streamed down his face, he heard a small voice. "Are you okay?" Startled, Timmy looked down to see a tiny field mouse with rosy cheeks and a jacket made of fallen leaves. "I'm sorry," squeaked the mouse. "I didn't mean to startle you. I just saw you crying, and I couldn't help but ask." Timmy wiped his eyes. "It's nothing," he lied, trying to be brave. "I was just admiring these apples. Look how beautiful they are." The mouse tilted its head. "Are you sure? Because you look sad." Timmy sighed, realizing there was no point in hiding his feelings from such a small mouse. He poured out his heart to the little creature, explaining about the upcoming Thanksgiving celebration and how he was too weak to carry a pumpkin. The mouse listened patiently, its tiny paws resting on its chin. When Timmy finished, the mouse spoke. "You want my help?" Timmy's eyes widened. "You can help me pick a pumpkin." "Of course," said the mouse. "My family and I have been searching for a new home after the storm destroyed our old nest. And what better place than your backyard? Plus, I know the perfect pumpkin for you." The mouse scurried off, beckoning Timmy to follow. They went deep into the orchard, past the apple trees and under a weeping willow. There, hidden among the tree roots, was a pumpkin patch untouched by the storm. Pumpkins of all shapes and sizes lay scattered around, some big enough to fit a whole family inside. Overjoyed, Timmy rushed to pick the biggest pumpkin he could find. It was orange and round, with a sturdy stem that looked like a built-in handle. With the mouse's help, Timmy rolled the pumpkin out of the patch and onto the path leading home. As they walked, Timmy told the mouse all about the Thanksgiving celebration. He explained how each family's pumpkin was judged on size, color, and overall appearance. "And my brother Tommy, well, he always won. Last year his pumpkin was so big, it needed for people to carry it." The mouse nodded, its eyes twinkling. "Then you have a lot to worry about. Your pumpkin is almost as big as me. How will you win against Tommy?" Timmy frowned. He hadn't thought of that. "I guess I'll come in last again. Everyone will laugh at me and call me names." "Nonsense," said the mouse. "Your pumpkin might be small, but it's perfect in its own way. Just wait and see." The mouse scurried ahead, disappearing into the bushes outside Timmy's house. Timmy took a deep breath, calming himself down. Maybe the mouse was right. Maybe his pumpkin was perfect. When he walked into the village square, he saw all the other kids with their pumpkins. There was Sally with her bright blue pumpkin, Peter with his long and skinny one, and Susie with a bumpy purple pumpkin that looked like a dragon egg. And then he saw Tommy, who had managed to find a medium-sized pumpkin, which looked rather unimpressive compared to the others. A wave of confidence washed over Timmy. He straightened his shoulders and walked towards the judging table with his head held high. As he placed his pumpkin on the table, the villagers gasped. Some giggled, and a few pointed fingers at Timmy. "Where did you find that, Timmy?" "In your pocket," asked one villager. Another said, "It looks like a gourd, not a pumpkin. No wonder it's so light." Timmy's face flushed with anger. He opened his mouth to defend himself. But before he could say a word, a loud voice boomed, "Order, order, everyone. Let's begin the judging." It was Mayor Hawthorne, a portly man with a white beard and a crooked hat. The mayor examined each pumpkin carefully. He poked them, prodded them, and even tapped them with a wooden hammer. He said thoughtfully, scratching his beard. "These are fine pumpkins, but none of them are perfect. And remember, the Thanksgiving celebration is all about being thankful for what we have. So let's find the pumpkin that best represents the Thanksgiving spirit." The crowd murmured in confusion, but Timmy felt a glimmer of hope. Maybe the mouse was right. Maybe his small pumpkin was perfect in its own way. The mayor's gaze fell on Timmy's pumpkin. He picked it up, turning it over in his hands. "Well, well, well," he said with a smile. "What do we have here?" A tiny pumpkin with a sturdy stem, smooth and shiny, just like a polished marble. This, my friends, is a rare find. Not only is it perfectly round, but its size makes it incredibly easy to carve. Imagine the intricate designs you could create on such a compact surface, and just think of the delicious pie you could make with those seeds. This, my friends, is the epitome of a multi-purpose Thanksgiving pumpkin. It may be small, but it is mighty indeed. A round of applause filled the air. Timmy's cheeks burned with pride. He didn't win because he was strong or fast, but because of his small, mighty pumpkin. Later that day during the Thanksgiving feast, Timmy proudly displayed his carved pumpkin. It had a wide smile and friendly eyes, and the pie made from its seeds was the most delicious thing Timmy had ever tasted. That night, as the villagers prepared to give thanks, Timmy looked up at the sky filled with stars and whispered, "Thank you, little mouse, for helping me find my perfect pumpkin." And so, thanks to a little field mouse and a tiny pumpkin, Timmy learned that sometimes being different isn't just okay, it's what makes you special.